Happy Friday. It's April 7th.
It is Friday.
It's live
TGIF.
at 5. TJIF. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek, and you are in the heart of Times Square, but you can't tell. You're just in front of a red backdrop.
We have a fabulous guest today.
I know. Who's here?
Omar Metwally from How to Transcend a Happy Marriage. We have a lot to discuss about that play.
It's a play about a lot of things.
It's a play about a lot of things.
All right, let's talk about some news first. So this weekend is the Olivier Awards, or the British Tonys, if you prefer. That's on Sunday, right?
It's on Sunday night. Correct.
Harry Potter has a record number of nominations. Dreamgirls is up. Andy Karl's up. There's a lot of Broadway peeps being represented, or soon to be Broadway peeps. And they announced presenters. So they have like all of our favorite people.
Oh, who's going to do it?
Lin-Manuel Miranda, Audra McDonald, Nathan Lane, who is, of course, starting...
If you're a Broadway person and you're in London, they're going to put you to work.
Right. Well, I didn't know Audra was there yet, but I guess she is.
She is now.
She's there. Nathan Lane, Andrew Garfield, who are in Angels in America, starting... Doesn't that start?
It starts. It already started.
It's like
it starts on Monday.
It's starting. It's about to start. Robert Fairchild and Leanne Cope, who are in American Paris, as they were here. Kush Jumbo, Ruthie Henschel, Mark Rylance, Russell Tovey, who's also in Angels in America. Anyway, it's a really good group of people. So congrats to all the nominees and good luck.
Yeah.
There are no losers, just non-winners.
Wow.
I think the Harry Potter play is going to do well.
Good prediction,
that's my
Paul.
prediction. So this is interesting. Here Lies Love. We remember Here Lies Love,
which was at the Public. It had 2 different runs.
It played at the Public, and then it came back and played a longer run at the Public. And then there were all these rumors about it moving. And at one point, they were going to put it in the basement of the Hotel Pennsylvania. Remember that?
Yeah, there were a lot of rumors about it. Obviously, Ruthie Ann Miles and Conrad Ricamora were in it. Ruthie Ann Miles went on to become a Tony winner for The King and I. So what's the buzz?
So what's happening is the reason why the show's had a hard time sort of moving forward is because it was basically you stood in a black box and they did the show on these platforms.
Yeah,
you moved around with the show. So what's happening is David Corns, the brilliant set designer David Corns,
Hamilton,
has recreated. He's come up with a whole new design for it, and it's starting tonight in Seattle at the Seattle Repertory Theater. And now this is the first time the show is playing in a regular proscenium theater. So they're still
the arch.
That's what's proscenium. They're still creating, cool different playing spaces, and but the show has been reconceived
if you hadn't done this, I really wouldn't know what you're
by Alex Timbers, the original director. Yes. So it starts tonight, and it's interesting because I think it's pretty safe to assume it might come to Broadway. This is my guess.
This is our hope.
If not, it can be produced.
Because David Corns said in that article that he
an American Theater
that
Magazine
comes back to New York State.
And it can be produced in a lot more places now. Okay. So and also Conrad Ricamora is back in it tonight in Seattle, and I don't want to screw up her name. Jagi Maka Puga.
Who played it in here as well?
She played Imelda Marcos. She
for not
played
wanting to screw up her name, you totally.
I'm sorry, I screwed up your name. She played it right after Ruthie Ann did. Yeah. Anyway. Super sad news, Tim Pigott-Smith, a Tony nominee for King Charles III. So he was nominated on Broadway just 2 years ago. You interviewed him.
I did.
We have an interview with Beth. He died at the age of 70. That was
very young, and he was actually about to open a show.
And also, they were working on a TV movie version of King Charles III,
That's right.
which he was supposed to star in.
And he just really embodied Prince Charles. It was amazing.
Oh, he was fabulous.
He was so nice. That's very sad news.
Yeah. Jesus Christ Superstar is being done at the Signature down in Virginia. A great cast. Nicholas Edwards as Jesus, Ari McKay Wilford as Judas, and Natasha Diaz, who's amazing, is Mary Magdalene.
Excited about
May 9th through July 2nd. The Obie Awards, Leah Delaria will host. May 22nd at Webster Hall. Of course, we know her from the Netflix smash, Orange is the New Black now, but she is a real theater person. And I love her quote about why she's hosting. I'm smart, edgy, and charge way less than I'm worth.
In other words, everyone's going to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Gently Down the Stream at the Public, the new Martin Sherman play starring Tony winners Harvey Fierstein and Gabriel Ebert has been extended to hit. It's playing now through May 21st, and I'm going to go see it. I can't wait.
Yay.
Ricky Martin, who was in Evita on Broadway, has been cast in Versace American Crime Story, which of course stars our friend Darren Criss as Andrew Cunanan, the serial killer who killed Gianni Versace.
That's not a spoiler alert, people.
You're supposed to know that. Okay. But Ricky Martin will play Antonio D'Amico, who was Versace's lover and partner, long-term partner.
Interesting.
Yeah. John Gallagher Jr. has a new movie role. It's a movie called Underwater with Kristen Stewart, and it's described as an aquatic action thriller, which I love.
Wow.
One of my favorite aquatic action thrillers was The
it's
Abyss.
a whole genre, yes.
Do you remember The Abyss?
Of course I remember
The Abyss. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
We're older. Look it up. There's a new red carpet challenge. Matt Roden went to Warpaint and asked everyone if they could identify different bizarre beauty products.
Really bizarre.
Bizarre. Some of them look dirty, but I don't think they were. Culturalist challenge, which we're asking people to bring a binge-worthy television show to Broadway.
Any kind of show.
Yeah.
Podcast
Have you?
too.
You've been binging anything?
I told you it was a podcast. So I binged S-Town.
Yeah, I did that too. Made me angry.
I don't know if I could make you angry. I don't know if I could like Dreamcast that one.
But you can't. We're not dreamcasting
not dreamcasting.
podcasts. We're
No.
dreamcasting television shows.
That's
and
right.
the one that I hope wins, because I have a great Dreamcast, but I'm not going to reveal it, is Big Little Lies, which just finished last week and it was
But
awesome.
he's not going to reveal it. So thanks for watching.
Warpaint. There's photos of Warpaint. The opening was last night, and Hillary Clinton showed up and kind of surprised a lot of people. They didn't know she was coming, but it was
amazing.
great for the show and
And she got an ovation. Christine Ebersole and Patty
of
LaBelle.
course. And I love that she loves Broadway so much.
She
It's
loves
fabulous.
It. She should be
One
a Tony
day,
nominator. That's my dream.
or just a
Or at
live
least
at five
present.
guest. One day she'll be here.
In this.
In the heart of
little
Times
chair.
Square against the red backdrop. Rob McClure, the vlog, Bottoms Up, is that what it's called?
Bottoms Up,
Pucker Up, Bottoms Up, Pucker Up, Bottoms Up. New episode.
Something weird.
Something rotten on the road, and now they're in North Carolina. I don't know much about North Carolina.
And he
I'm going to
always
watch.
sort of gives us a taste of wherever he is, which is fun.
Yeah, oh my God, Rob is so good at this. Keep going, Rob. And Side Bases in Blackwell is back. There are 6 new episodes coming up every week. We're doing them every week now. So it's going to be like a batch of episodes, and Gideon
You
Glick.
can binge watch them.
Gideon Glick, who is in Significant Other and is amazing, he's doing a Connect the Dots thing with Susan.
Don't know what that means, but I can't wait to
yeah,
see.
in the first episode. And did you talk about our new vlogger yesterday?
Yeah.
Let's talk
No,
about
I
it.
didn't.
I feel like you
actually.
didn't.
I didn't.
We have a new old vlogger, one of the greatest Broadway.com
In the whole
vloggers
thing.
of all. Laura Osnes,
That's right.
who I saw last night in Bandstand, and she's incredible. And of course, she did the Princess Diaries, 2 seasons of her Cinderella
get enough. We
vlog,
couldn't get
Princess Diaries, and now she's back, and it's called With the Band,
With the band.
and it starts on Tuesday. You don't have to wait that long.
No,
So that's exciting.
it is exciting.
All
She's
right.
so good at it, right?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm out.
get out. Happy Friday,
a nice
Paul.
weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Omar Metwally. From How to Transcend a Happy Marriage. I could say the whole
Oh,
thing.
you got applause and everything.
I do. I mean, sort of. Yes.
All right.
Hi, Omar.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you
Okay,
too.
this is a banana pancakes play. And I just
What
want to
does
say
that
I saw it. It's because it goes in directions you're not expecting it to go in.
Uh-huh.
It's a Sarah Rule play.
It
You
is.
play Marissa Tomei's husband.
That's right.
How do you describe this play? I'm sure you don't say banana pancakes. What do you say?
I say it's something very vague, which I say it's a play about love, a play about relationships. It's a play about broadening our idea of love and
That
what,
is
what
vague.
that
I like
means.
it.
Yeah,
I
and
like
also
it.
a play about animal sacrifice.
Okay, so like I said, it's a little bit.
It ranges. It's
out
far
there.
ranging.
Out there.
Polyamory, you could throw that in there as
Okay,
well.
polyamory is a word that keeps on coming up.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's tell the people what the play is about. It's about you. It's about 2 long-term friends, 2 couples that are
couples,
friends,
yeah.
very old friends. All 4 of them are super liking each other and having a good time, and then they bring an unusual person or 3 people into their mix.
A triad.
A triad, if you will.
a self-described triad.
throuple. They don't like that. They want it to be
No.
called a triad.
A thruple is another word for
Be
it.
right about how you talk about
Yeah,
these things.
yeah.
And things kind of get a little unusually out of their usual routine.
That's true.
Because there's an orgy, I just want to say it. There's an orgy. Let's talk
You
about
let
how
the
you.
cat out of the bag.
Let's talk about the research. Well, it's like in every article, like the
I know.
orgy, Marissa
I know. It's
Tomei.
not really a secret, is it? Yeah.
How comfortable did you have to get with your co-stars to do? Now everyone's dressed. It's Lincoln Center. Okay, just calm down.
Not everyone's dressed.
Most people are dressed.
Right. The majority of us are dressed.
Omar's dressed.
I remain dressed.
So everybody
That's
just
true.
take a deep breath. It's okay. How you guys had to get very? You are very physical with each other, though.
Yes.
How did you like break down the barriers between your castmates?
I mean, we
Was
kind
there
of
drinking?
not in rehearsal.
That's
No.
very
But
professional.
yeah, we kept it professional. But we kind of worked up to that day in rehearsal. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I
not
think
the first day.
it took several weeks to get there, and Rebecca Teichman, our director, handled it very, very smoothly, and then finally it was time to work on it. So she kind of she said, well, without too much discussion, she said, let's go for it, guys, and let's see what happens. And I'm going to let you guys do it, And
Mitchell
do it,
adjusted.
by do it, she means basically we all made out with each other. And then
Being an actor is so hard, you guys.
It's really tough. Yeah. And then she, you know, we did one pass and then we did another pass. And then she kind of started to shape it.
So did that change? I'm so interested. I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you really personal questions.
It's okay.
It's a really personal play. And it actually has a lot of, as you said, larger things to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, just in creating that, how it broke down the barriers between you guys personally. Do you feel like you guys just got to be a lot closer? Or was it just like, we're just doing this?
I think, well, that's an interesting question. I mean, I think there's always a closeness that happens, I think, with a cast. Not always, I mean, actually, that's not true. But ideally, there's a kind of, it's a bonding experience to do a play together with people. And this cast is made up of a particularly lovely group of people. So we were all already having a really great time. But I think...
So there's some trust there.
There is some trust there,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also our job, you know. So
right.
I think, and you know, I think it's important to maintain that in one's mind. Yeah. You know.
So you have done so much TV and so much. You've been on screen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you now mostly recognized for The Affair? If you're just
I mean,
walking
these
down the
days,
street?
because that's kind of what I'm currently doing. So.
And you have kind of I'm going to be honest, I don't really know The Affair that well, but I do know that your character, Dr. Vic, has a kind of a maybe vague relationship with one of the other characters, with
Maura Tierney's character.
With
Yeah.
So do you find yourself like being asked questions like, what's going on, what's happening?
Yeah, I do, and I can't ever answer them because you know I'm not allowed to divulge plot details, and also sometimes I don't know the plot details.
Yeah, you don't read the whole season.
You know, it's like a need to know basis with the way they release the scripts to us and stuff like that.
Now, you were also in two of my favorite shows. You were in 16 Wounded, which was a while ago. You got a Tony nomination.
I did. That was back in 2004.
With Judd Hirsch, Martha Plimpton.
Yeah.
It was a really moving work
Thank
in
you.
my memory. I don't remember the playwright's name, but I do remember that Gary Hines directed it.
She did. Yeah.
At the
Eliam Cryam was the
Eliam
playwright.
Cryam.
Yeah.
And it was just. I didn't last that long on Broadway, but it was like I loved that play.
No, it didn't, unfortunately. But thank you. Yeah.
So you did that. You got a Tony nomination. So that was that your Broadway debut?
It was.
So did you feel like thrust into the whole Broadway, community all of a sudden?
I mean, that was quite a way to enter that world, you know.
I mean, it's pretty amazing to get a Tony nomination for your Broadway debut.
Yeah, it was a special thing that I won't soon forget, definitely.
And recently at the Atlantic, you did Guards at the Taj.
Yes.
This is another play that takes a complete turn, and you're like, what happened? So a lot of people, that was another one where you kind of had to keep it a little vague in describing it.
Yeah, for sure, because there were
the play,
several surprises.
which we won't tell you because it's going to be done other places, and you can see it. Maybe them are. But
we're hoping to do it. Well, the plan is to do it at Steppenwolf in the summer of 2018.
And you did it with
Arian. Yeah, Arian Moayed, Tony nominee.
Tony nominee, and he was in The Humans, of course.
Yes, he was. That. Yeah. And so we'll be remounting the original production at Steppenwolf.
You guys were very involved with the creation of that play.
That's true, yeah.
I know that Rajiv Joseph, who wrote that play, included you and you did research together. In doing the Sarah Rule play, were there adjustments in the same way? I mean, were you involved in the creation in the same way?
I mean, I think anytime you work on a new play...
You've been so fortunate to do that.
Yeah, I love working on new plays. It's sort of my favorite thing to do. And anytime you work on a new play, I think part of why it's fun is that you're involved in the genesis and the creation of the piece, and to some degree. You know, I mean, Guards at the Taj was a special situation because, you know,
It's a two-character play.
Right, and we started that at the Lark, and Rajiv worked with Arian and I on that, and the three of us kind of made it together. I mean, he wrote the play, but we had, you know, it was a more involved process. But even with Sarah and How to Transcend a Happy Marriage, we, you know, the playwright's there in the room and responding to what's happening in rehearsal and responding to, you know, sometimes someone ad-libs a joke and the next day it's in the script. Yeah. Or, you know, or a moment unfolds in a different way, and Sarah, she's so thoughtful and perceptive, and kind of an egoless writer, and so, you know, takes from what's happening around her.
Now let me ask you a very serious question. Do you
Okay.
think you'll ever listen to She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain the same way again?
No.
Lena Hall sings a rendition of that song like you've never heard it
Yeah,
before. Let me just leave it at that.
I mean, Lena Hall can sing any song in a way like
That's
you've never
true.
heard it before, but she takes Coming Round the Mountain and really, let's just say she makes it her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put that. I just want to ask you a couple of
Yeah.
questions from our viewers. Hi, guys. Alec asked if there have been any onstage mishaps at How to Transcend.
Well,
I feel like you're definitely bumping noses. Something's going on.
actually, Amanda reminded me of something, which was our very first preview. There's a point in the play where one of the characters, Freddie, there's a party scene, and Freddie announces that he's brought hash brownies
As you do
to
at
the
a party.
and he said so he says the line hash brownies, and then we heard from the audience a woman's voice say, so that the whole theater could hear, hash browns?
It's kind of a plot point, so if it's not there, it's not.
So it was tough to keep it together, at that moment. But there's also a live animal on stage at one point, and can't always predict what she's going to do.
This is not the animal that's sacrificed. Everybody just take
No,
a break
no,
and relax.
no animals are harmed
No animals are
during
harmed.
the production. Yeah,
No hash browns are harmed.
no hash browns are harmed either.
Elise is asking, what's the biggest difference between doing TV and plays for you? I think everything's different about it, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot is different, but I mean, a play is so centered on the process of making the play, and you have this long period of time before anyone is exposed to it, where you make it with the other artists that you're working with. And TV,
And there's no audience yelling things out, for example.
for example, no one's yelling hash browns on a television set. I mean, unless it's like
Unless it's
catering.
part of it.
Yeah, and the TV, you kind of it's much lighter on process, and you sort of have to show up already having made a lot of decisions and work very quickly. And
That
the
makes
theater,
sense.
you have more time.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Luki is asking, do you have one favorite show? That is such a hard question.
Television show?
I think any show.
Or play. Well, I'm going to answer it with a play. There was a production of Blasted at Soho Rep. I think it was 2008 or 9 that Reed Birney and Marin Ireland were in. And I'll never forget that production. It really had an impact on me. Sarah Kane play.
Sarah Kane.
Yeah.
Sarah Kane.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you're having fun making out with everybody in the show.
It's tough, but I'll manage.
I'm glad that you're getting through it.
Uh-huh.
And have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you on Monday.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.